Hi, I'm Randy Hollenbeck, and this is the Music Roundtable. Today on the show, we have Gina Fritz.
Hi. Thank you so much for having me.
You had me anxious, you had me pacing around, lost my patience. Yeah, you were bringing me down, picked myself back up, then I started again. You kept on saying all these things that excite you. I chose to believe all those stories would haunt me. They crawl through my dreams, yeah. I'm trying to fight all the things that I see when my eyes are closed tight, but they won't let me be, yeah.
I just wanted to start out by digging into some of your history. What got you into singing, and what age did you start?
So I guess you could say I started when I was really young, but I didn't take it seriously until I was probably about 22, 23. So it was like later in life when I like actually took it seriously. And funny enough, it's because I used to go to karaoke bars. So as soon as I turned 21, I was like kind of in the bar scene and I would just do karaoke and people would come up to me all the time and just be like, "Hey, like you're really good at this. Like why don't you actually like do this?" And I'm like, "No, like it's like a hobby for me." And then I tried out for The Voice and I made it to the round where like they almost like spin the chairs, like I had to like sign the paper and I never heard back. So then after that, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna form a band with some of my friends and see like what happens. And that was years ago. That was when I was like 25. So I've been doing this for about a good like 10 years.
How did you find your band members?
Through my producer. So my producer's name is Chris Paquette. He's from Rhode Island. Really, really nice guy. Really great producer. And the way that we write, I write over YouTube beats and he pulls them and he puts instruments over them. And he brought in a drummer, which was Brody, and we ended up clicking right away. So then I threw my brother into the mix because he's a guitar player and he also helps me co-write all of my music. So it started off just being the two of them, and then throughout the process, I ended up meeting Frank through my producer, and then I met Evan, my bassist, through Frank. So it kind of all just like came together naturally.
Okay. I wanted to go back a little bit. When you were growing up and you said you didn't take it seriously and you were singing and doing karaoke and stuff, did you write any songs during that time?
I did, but they weren't good. I like dabbled with the process of writing and the whole like trying to like rhyme words with one another going on like rhymezone.com, but like I never was like fully like telling a story. I think it was like I got more of like the storytelling like the older that I got and the more that I experienced within the industry and within the people that I met along the way. It gave me a little bit more storytelling, if you will.
Okay. Who are some of your musical influences?
Lacey Sturm, like top right up there. She's great. I would have to say Amy Lee, Evanescence, Paramore. I did grow up listening to bands like Blue Oyster Cult, Def Leppard because of my dad. My dad was a drummer. So I was kind of always around just like the rock world. But in the other realm, my brother actually listens to a lot of pop. So like The Weeknd, Kid Cudi. So we kind of have like both of those worlds together, which ends up making for really cool melodies when we co-write together.
Where are you based out of?
Connecticut. Little town. It's called Wallingford.
I'm gonna dig into one of your songs here. Over it, your new song. Um, it has that fun pop punk vibe going on, where like everyone would be like jumping around to it, you know?
Yep, absolutely. I definitely wanted this one to be like more upbeat. I feel like a lot of the songs that I have are more like of the hard rock realm, and I'm like, I need one with like a poppier beat that people can dance to. Just have fun.
You have a line in there. It says, "I have learned to keep it to myself." What have you learned to keep to yourself?
So it's funny. I love that line so much because so many people don't really know what it means. But when I was writing it, like I said, I was in previous projects, I was in previous bands. And without getting really into it, they just didn't work out for a lot of different reasons. So throughout the process of me being in those bands, I obviously started this band that I'm in just by myself. And going back to that time, I was kind of like, I'm just going to keep it to myself and I am going to keep it to just me, like no one else. Like, I am going to do this on my own. Obviously, now over time, that's changed, and I have, these four awesome guys who, back me every single night. But when I was writing it, I was like, yeah, I'm going to be selfish this time and I'm just going to keep it to myself.
Lessons that I taught myself. Yeah, I used to drink feelings away when I felt them. I self-medicated. I hated the way that you made me feel like I needed escape. Take it back right now. All the shit coming out your mouth. I told you once, I'll tell you twice. Pick your chin up off the ground. Take it back right now. This ain't what I'm about. I wore myself out wearing thin. This liquor helps me drown. Keep my focus moving forward. I stay doing me, yeah. I have learned to keep it to myself, yeah. I watched us fall. You buried us yourself, yeah. I'm over it. I'm over it, so over it. You buried us yourself.
Now, you were saying that was kind of like your one of your favorite lyric lines. Is there any other songs that a lyric line stood out?
For Stay Away, the verse right in the beginning where I reference a knife because I like to be very visual with my songs so people can visualize it. And I say, handed me a knife with a loaded gun, you always play the victim. That's one of my favorite lines that I say. And yeah. And everybody in the audience too, like we kind of do the thing where like handed me a knife and a loaded gun. So like that's the thing. But I love that line.
Handed me a knife and a loaded gun. You always play the victim while I'm bleeding out of these wounds you caused. You're already on to the next. You were right by my side. Always thought it was right, but all the love that you were giving put you in the best position just to stab me in the back with a knife. Stay away. I know it's lonely in the bed where you lay. Caught up in a fatal mistake. You know that we were never the same. Stay away. I'll hold you like a moth from the grave. All the memories you'll never escape. Possession's taking over your brain. Possession's taking over you.
Now, I saw you have collaborated with Whitney Payton.
Yeah, so we have a band, it's called Keyed Up, and it's more so like she raps and then I sing. And I met her during one of my previous projects that I had, which was really cool. We went on a tour with her. She was so nice, and we were the only girls on the tour, so we really bonded throughout the whole thing. And then afterwards, she approached me a couple months afterwards and was like, "Hey, do you want to start a group?" And I was like, "Absolutely." And in my own mind, I was kind of like, "Oh, like she's gonna, pull a couple girls, like there's probably going to be five of us." I think in my mind, I was thinking something along the lines of like Spice Girls, like there's going to be like a whole group. And when she was like, "Yeah, no, it's just me and you," I'm like, whoa, like you're taking a chance on someone from Connecticut. Like I love her. She's so awesome. And she's on tour right now with a group. They're called Little Miss Nasty. And I'm going down there on May 10th to Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania, which I've never been to. It's a place called Love Draft. So I'm excited to be joining her on that. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Awesome. Now, you just did Launch Music Conference. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, so I submitted to it a couple months back when they were doing the submitting process. I got accepted. Like you said, we just got back. It was yesterday, so I'm just getting like to relax today and like get back to like kind of like real life. Like, all right, like zone in a little bit more. But it was so cool. There were a bunch of panels that we got to do. A lot of different just networking and shaking hands and meeting people that I would have never met if I didn't go to the conference. So if anyone on here is watching this interview, I absolutely say submit next year, or even if your band doesn't get accepted, just go, because the experience alone is so cool. The people that you meet and just the networking and the panels that you could listen to and all the knowledge that you could just learn from it.
Now, was that like over a weekend?
It was over a weekend, so my band got in Friday night, and then we listened to a bunch of the conferences in the morning on Saturday, and then we ended up performing Saturday night, and then we left. It was like early Sunday morning, but it was over the course of like 3 days that people were there, and people were performing outside. There was like a room upstairs, there was a room downstairs, just everywhere that you went, there were people performing. It was really, really cool experience.
Now, on those panels, were there like some music industry people giving bands advice and stuff?
There were, yeah. CI Records was there. Casey Carlson of Deadlands was on one of the panels. So it was really cool hearing their take on marketing and social media, because I'm still new to the whole social media thing and I'm trying to get better at it. So being able to hear, someone, especially like Casey, she's so great at social media and connecting with her fans. Like, it gave me a lot of new ideas on how to be able to connect with my fans and how to properly use my social media, so I'm not just, shit posting, like, so I'm actually like sending a message to my followers, which, is really, really cool. Good information to have.
And you're going to be at Capulet Fest.
Yep. So I perform on June 28th. I'm not sure what time we perform yet, but we're performing. It's the same day as Archers, Bless the Fall, Haste the Day, Echo, American Dream Machine. Like, there's so many. And I mean, all 3 days are so great. And Estevan did an amazing job with the lineup this year. It crushes.
What's your plans for the rest of this year?
So we have some June shows coming up. I'm playing a hometown show in East Haven at a place called the Beer Axe. That's like our headliner show with our friends in Valoria. So that's going to be a lot of fun. But we're going up to New Hampshire to do an emo night, which is so much fun. We get to play a bunch of covers, and I've never actually played up in New Hampshire, so this is new territory for us. I believe it is going to be at the Bank of New Hampshire, not the pavilion. It's like the theater. There's like two separate ones. Um, But yeah, that's going to be awesome. And then obviously Capulet. But we're really trying to zone in on just creating new music videos, and just trying to push our content a little bit more so that hopefully in the fall we could come out with a new EP. Cross our fingers.
And you'll be releasing a single or two off that before then?
Absolutely, yeah. We obviously have the Over It music video, which is out now. But there's a couple that I have under my belt that I'm gonna be putting out very, very soon. You'll see a bunch of it coming out on TikTok and reels. You'll be seeing of it, but yeah, I'll be teasing a bunch soon.
Awesome. Uh, how can we get a hold of you? Facebook, Instagram?
So I have a website, www.ginafritzct.com. And if you go to that, that will bring you to all of my links for Facebook, for if you want to join my Patreon page, if you want to look at my YouTube channel, it will give all of that information on that website. So it's Gina Fritz CT on everything. I made it very easy for people to find me.
That's all the questions I have. Thanks for coming on the show today. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
Just thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it, especially being a DIY artist. It's really cool to be able to do a bunch of these interviews and just connect with different people. So I appreciate you. Thank you.
Stay away. I know it's not